Okay, so if you're expecting, you already know there's a ton of advice out there, right? Especially when it comes to food. Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're breaking it down into a simple, powerful blueprint for building a healthy baby. Let's dive in.
It's a pretty big question, isn't it? When you think about it, you're literally building the foundation for a brand new person. So, with a project this important, where do you even begin?
You know, the answer is probably simpler than you'd imagine. It all starts right here, with the food you eat. Every single meal, every snack, that's a choice that helps build that future, one bite at a time.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll lay the foundation. Then we'll get into the power nutrients. Think of them as your main building materials. After that, a quick safety check. We'll talk about managing common challenges, and we'll wrap up with your all-important support system. All right, first up, the foundation for health. Before we get into what to eat, let's talk about the why. Seriously, why does what's on your plate matter so much right now? Well, think of it this way. Good nutrition is doing double duty. On one hand, it's directly fueling your baby's growth. We're talking brain, bones, everything. And at the exact same time, it's protecting you, keeping you strong and energized, and helping you avoid things like anemia. Okay, let's get to the core of our construction project, the pregnancy power nutrients. These are the absolute must-have building materials in your baby's developmental blueprint. First on the list is iron. This is your oxygen and energy supplier. You know that feeling of just being completely wiped out? Iron helps prevent that by making sure enough oxygen is getting to you and your baby. It is absolutely crucial for energy and growth. And the great thing is, you don't have to look very far to find it. We're talking about really common foods like leafy greens, beans, and eggs. And of course, always listen to your health worker's advice about any supplements, like iron folic acid tablets. Next up, protein, the tissue builder. Honestly, if you're building a house, protein is the bricks and the mortar. It is literally what builds all of your baby's tissues, and it also supports your own body as it goes through all these incredible changes. And you've got so many options to get it. Whether you're all about eggs and dairy, you prefer plant-based sources like beans and tofu, or you like lean meats like chicken and fish, there are plenty of great choices. Okay, let's talk calcium, our bone architect. This is the nutrient that's in charge of designing and building a strong skeleton for your baby. And here's the really important part. It also protects your own bones, because if you're not getting enough, the baby will take it right from your body. You can find calcium in the usual suspects, milk, yogurt, cheese, but don't forget about things like sesame seeds or small fish where you eat the bones, and even green veggies. Getting a good mix is the best way to go. Now for a really critical one, folic acid. Let's call it the development shield. This nutrient is absolutely essential, especially in those super early stages of pregnancy, because it plays a huge role in preventing certain birth defects. Now, while you can find some in foods like leafy greens, bananas, and beans, this is one area where a supplement is often a really good idea. The most important thing here is to talk with your health worker and make sure you're getting the right amount. Okay, so we've got our building materials covered. Now let's just make sure the construction site is safe. This is our safety checklist. Just a simple guide to keep both you and the baby protected. So think of this as the hard hat required zone. It's so important to avoid things like raw or undercooked foods, since they can carry nasty bacteria. Unpasteurized milk, alcohol, and tobacco are definite no-goes. And just be careful with caffeine and any herbal medicines. Always check with a professional first. On the flip side of what to avoid, let's talk about what to embrace. Water! Hydration is so key, so try to get about 8 to 10 cups of clean water every day. And at the same time, it's a good idea to steer clear of sugary drinks and limit really salty foods to help with things like swelling. Of course, no big project goes off without a hitch. So for this section, let's put on our project manager hats and figure out how to handle one of the most common challenges out there. Ah yes, that lovely feeling of nausea, which, as we know, can strike at any time of day. It is incredibly common. So if this is you, what can you actually do about it? Here's a simple 5-step plan. First, try eating smaller meals more often. That way, your stomach is never totally empty. Avoiding strong smells can be a huge help. Also, try eating something dry like a biscuit as soon as you wake up. Sip your drinks between meals instead of with them.
And please, give yourself time to rest after you eat. And finally, let's talk about the team. Because building a baby is not a solo job. You need a great support system, your very own construction crew.
This is where partners, family, and friends are so important. Their role is huge. They can help with healthy meals, they can take on other chores to lighten your load, and they can just make sure you have the time and space you need to rest and eat well. It really is a team effort.
You know, if there's one core idea to take away from all of this, it's this right here. Eating well is not about having to buy fancy, expensive stuff. It's just about making smart choices with everyday foods that are all around you. So I'll just leave you with this one question. After everything we've talked about, from iron to hydration to your support crew, what's just one small, smart choice that you can make and add to your plate starting today?